What's up, guys? Welcome back to Spoiling Movies. My name is Chris, and I'm going to tell you all about a movie that I just watched recently, and I'm going to spoil it, tell you everything that happens and how I feel about it at the end. This week's movie is Hereditary. I've been waiting a long time to watch this. I have been avoiding spoilers because I was really curious. I heard mixed reviews about this one, so let's talk about it. It opens with some text about a woman dying at age 78, and there will be a funeral held sometime soon. Then they show you some little, like, miniature houses with like little furniture and things, and it's showing you like an art studio where there's other little miniatures that this person has been making. Then it goes in for this great long zoom up into one of the miniature house things, and then that's where the scene starts. There's a dad that walks into the room and like wakes up the son out of bed and tells him, "You gotta get up, we gotta go do it somewhere." And I was like, that was a really cool shot. The little girl is sleeping in a tree house, and the mom comes to wake her up because they're going to the mother's funeral, the grandma's funeral. The woman is doing a eulogy for her mother, talking about how secretive she was and how strange she was and how it's weird to be talking about her. Meanwhile, little girl is sitting down and sketching in a sketchbook, and she's doing this weird click noise. She's just like sketching things and going. Then they go back to the house, and there's more of those house miniatures. Apparently, the mother makes them. She's working on an image of the deathbed of the mother. The mother goes into the little girl's room to check on her when she's getting ready for bed, and she has a room full of weird little toys that are made from other toys, like the heads of things have been put on other things to make a different creature, a different toy. Then the mom goes into her grandma's old room and starts looking through boxes and finds some like photo albums and things, and then she sees the mother. She sees the mother in a corner of the room, just standing there, just a little shadowy part of the room, and it's terrifying. She clicks on the light, and the grandma is gone, and it's like real well done, and it's super duper creepy. They show the little girl at school, and she's listening to the teacher. She's sketching, making her click noise, and then bang! A bird hits the window of the school. Class ends, she goes out, finds the dead bird, and decides to cut its head off with some scissors. Mother lady goes to the grandma's room again and sees that there is a big old triangle on the floor. The dad is on the phone with somebody, and you don't hear what the person's saying, but he's like desecrated. But it's only been a week. Mother is in a therapy group, and she's telling her long story about all the crazy shit that happened in her family. The mother had schizophrenia and was also very controlling and manipulative and shit. Her brother committed suicide, and her dad died of something fucking crazy. Family's all fucked up. Little girl sees this weird light thing that happens a few times in the movie, and I'm just going to call it the Donnie Darko light, because I feel like it reminds me of Donnie Darko, because there's some weird light thing that happens, and then it like tells you where to go and you kind of follow it. So she kind of follows where the light was pointing, and she ends up out in a field and sees an old woman out in a field, and there's some like fire and there's creepy music happening, and then the mother like kind of comes in, and it's a little freaky and tense, and is like, "What are you doing out here?" And she's like, "I miss grandma." The brother gets a text, and it says, "Hey, where's the party happening? Get out here so we can party." And so he's like, "Hey mom, can I borrow the car so I can go to this party?" And she's like, "Are you bringing your sister?" And he's like, "Well, does she want to go?" So the mother kind of forces the little girl, not forces, but it's like, "You need to get out, you need to go to this party with your brother and get out and be social, and that way you can meet people and whatever." So the boy takes the sister to this party in this weird mansion that looks like a fucking art museum. And the brother sees a girl that he likes, and he's like, "Hey, you want to smoke some weed with me?" And she's like, "Yeah, I know a place. Let's go smoke in this room somewhere in this party." And the little girl's like, "Don't leave me here alone downstairs." And he's like, "It's fine. I'll just be gone a minute. Like, look, they're making cake. Go eat that cake." Little sister has a nut allergy, and I guess she didn't know that there was nuts in the cake. So little girl starts having an allergic reaction and is like, "My throat's swelling up. I need some help." Little brother's like in the middle of a bong hit, and he's like, "Oh shit." He grabs her, takes her in the car, and they start driving to the hospital. So little girl's in the back seat. She's trying to breathe. And she opens up the window of the car, sticks her head out to try and get some air, try and breathe. Brother sees a dead animal in the road and goes, "Swerve!" And then the little girl's head gets hit by the telephone pole. But is this like a dream sequence? Is this just a weird, creepy vision in the brother's head that maybe he's so high he's just imagining it? Apparently not. The kid finally gets his shit back and drives home, leaves the girl in the car, doesn't say anything, just walks inside in the middle of the night, just lays in his bed, and he's not able to sleep. They just show him just laying awake with his eyes open. And then hearing his mother wake up in the morning and go down to go to work or do something, and get in the car and find the girl and then lose her mind. And there's a scene where you see the little girl's head on the side of the highway, and it's covered in ants. And it's like the mouth is all fucked up from where it hit the pole. It's covered in ants. The mother goes back to the therapy place to talk about grieving and about what has just happened. Some woman stops her and is like, I also have dead kids and it's good to grieve. Call me sometime. Mother decides she's going to go and visit the woman that gave her the phone number and, talk about shit. And she sees that there's a weird embroidered welcome mat. And she's like, oh, my mom used to make some things like that. And she's like, oh, really? And she walks in, they start talking. Mother talks about these dreams that she's been having. She sleepwalks and covers the kids in paint thinner, and she has a match and she's gonna light everybody on fire. And then she wakes up. And then she explains that it's not a dream. That was her sleepwalking. She was actually doing that and about to light them on fire. And there's a fucked up dinner scene with the mom and the brother and the dad. And the brother's like, what's wrong, Mom? You have something to say? You got something on your mind? He's like, no, what do you mean? He's like, don't you have something to say to me? She freaks out and blames the kid and starts yelling at him. And he's like, well, you asked me to take her. Terrible dinner scene. The dad says, this is over. Just stop it. Just stop right now. Mother walks out of the room. Mother's trying to get herself off thinking about everything that's happened. So she's just in her work making more of the miniatures that she sells. So she goes to an art store and starts buying some new stuff. The same lady that gave her the phone number finds her in the parking lot, and she's just like, something amazing happened. I met this person, and he did a seance. I know it sounds crazy, but they did a seance, and I was able to talk to my dead grandchild. And she's like, no, it's for real. Come over and see it for yourself. So eventually, the mother decides to go to the lady's place and check it out, see what she's all about. Lady lights a candle and has a glass on a table, and she says, put your hand on this glass and don't put any pressure on it. So they put their hands on the glass, and then she starts speaking out to her grandson. If you're here, let us know you're here by moving the glass. And then the glass moves a little bit, and the mother freaks out. And then she says, grandson, write something on this. So give me a message from beyond, because this is your favorite chalkboard that you used to draw on. So leave me a message. Chalk just moves itself, and it says I-L-U-V-U, Grandma. And the mother's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I gotta fucking leave. And she's like, no. It's okay. That's how I felt the first time it happened. Take this with you. It's got some writing in another language. You can do this too, but make sure you read this out loud and make sure all of your family is in the house when you do. Mother wakes up in bed, and there are ants on her pillows and on the bed, and she gets up and she follows the line of ants that are going from her bed into the son's room. She goes all the way into the son's room, sees him laying there, and there are ants all over his face and all over his mouth. Then it quick cuts, and the son is awake, and the mother's standing there. And the son's like, what's going on? What are you doing here? What's wrong? And she's like, I don't know. I just slept walk here. And he's like, why do you have a problem with me? What's the fucking deal? And she's like, I never wanted to be your mother. I was pressured into it by Grandma. She wanted me to do it. I tried to abort you guys, but it didn't work. And he's like, why didn't you want me? And she's like, I just didn't think I could be a good mother. And it pans back to the brother's face, and he's dripping with some type of liquid, and it cuts back to her, and she's covered in liquid too. And then you hear a match light, and there's fire coming up. It was so, It really fucking freaked me out. There's a moment where the camera's going around the house. You hear the woman in a room, and she's speaking the words that the lady gave to her. Mother tells brother and dad to come downstairs. So they get down there, and she's setting up a candle and like a little seance thing, and she's like, we gotta have our hands on the table, we gotta touch. They're like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this? This is stupid. You're being crazy right now. Charlie is here. I've talked to her, and just watch this. Just believe me. So they hold hands, and she says, Charlie, if you're here, let us know. And then the glass that's on the table like moves a bunch, and they're all like, oh, okay, what the fuck was that? The candle on the table goes flares up real strong, and then goes away, and then lights back up again real soft. The dad starts looking under the table to see if that was just like some kind of magic trick or something. While he's like bringing his head back up, the mother's making like fucked up noises, and then starts talking like Charlie for a second, like, where am I? What is this? Why are you looking at me like that? And then she fucking snaps out of it again. Brother sees Charlie standing in a corner of a room. Her head falls off into a ball that bounces into the light. And it's really, really fucking creepy. And then the brother's head gets like grabbed because he's like in bed, maybe sleeping, maybe not, but like there's hands on his face and they're like trying to pull his fucking head off. Mother decides there's something really fucked up happening here, and so she takes the sketchbook and throws it into the fireplace. As soon as the edge of the book starts burning, her clothes start burning. And the more that the book catches fire, the more she catches on fire. So she pulls it out of there and stomps it out. The mother finds a book in a box of Grandma's stuff, and it is all about like weird spiritual crazy shit. And she finds one that's a picture of a demon and King Paimon, and is like on top of a donkey, and he has a weird staff with like a hand thing. And she's like reading through the shit in the book, and it says like, King Paimon needs a male host body. And she sees a ton of pictures of the grandmother with some of these, the other woman, the parking lot lady, and a bunch of other people in some obvious cult witch thing. They're all wearing the same necklace with the weird shit, and pictures of all of them doing weird fucking witch parties or something. We find out that the grandma's body was the one that was desecrated, and it has been dug up. Mother's up in attic and sees that there's a dead body up there, and sees that there's like a weird symbol like painted on the attic fucking wall right near the body. The body in the attic is also missing a head. So missing heads are a thing, and only on the second watch did I notice that in that demon book, that demon that she was looking at in the book had little heads, like as trophies or something, on its like belt. They show brother dude back in his like high school class thing, and he hears the click again. And then he hears it like right in his ear. Raises his hand up and has his hand all fucked up, and then like smashes his face against the fucking desk and fucking starts bleeding out of the nose, and he's like, he starts freaking out, At like lunch break at school, the brother guy sees some woman like across the street, and she's yelling things at him that nobody else can hear. Body is not yours, get out! Mother says, hey dad guy, you need to go up to the attic to see what I just saw, because there was something up there, and it was a body, and it was fucked up. Go up there to see what I saw. She thinks she might be crazy because it runs in the family. So he goes up, he comes down, and he's like, what the fuck? What is that up there? What the fuck is going on? She's like, I know this is all fucking nuts. I need you to fucking take this sketchbook and fucking burn it, because I can't do it. Because it lit me on fire when I tried to do it. You gotta destroy it. The dad's like, I'm not doing this anymore. You are crazy and you need help. I'm not gonna burn this book because you're crazy. And she's like, fuck that! Grabs the book, throws it into the fire. The dad just lights up. Fucking he's on fire like shit. The boy wakes up in bed, the brother guy. He's looking around because he feels odd. The mother is on the ceiling in a corner in his bedroom. And then he, like, looks over and she, like, fucking climbs out the other way. The brother finds the dad's body in front of the fireplace. And he's like, what? Ah. And the mother's still fucking in the background, just, like, clinging onto the fucking ceiling and shit. There's some creepy fucking naked old man just standing in a doorway smiling for a minute. The brother sees that shit. And it fucking actually, that was, like, another legitimate jump scare. Because this movie is terrifying. The mom isn't even in the same place anymore. Camera pans and she's like running at him from a different place in the room and chasing the brother. Brother runs up into the attic and she's like she's up there anti-gravitying her ass and fucking banging her head against the attic thing. The brother looks up because he hears a noise and the mother is floating above him in some other corner of the attic and she's stabbing herself in the neck and stabbing like faster and faster until she's just stabbing herself in the neck. It's like, Jesus Christ, this imagery is fucking terrifying. Then the brother sees a group of naked people. There's a man and a woman and another man or another woman or whatever, and they're all naked just standing in the darkness like staring at him as his mother's fucking stabbing herself in the neck. So he says, fuck this, and he runs and he jumps out the attic window. And he falls on the grass, and then Donnie Darko light happens again, and it goes like on the brother's body laying in the grass. And then there's a shadow that fucking flies overhead and kind of lands on the body. Then the kid opens his eyes and stands up and starts walking toward the treehouse. And there's other naked people just like standing in the woods. And as brother is walking toward the treehouse, he goes. Brother climbs up into the treehouse, and there are people bowing down. And there's two headless people in the room. I guess that was grandma and mother. Up in the treehouse, there's an idol, mostly made of gold, but it also has the daughter's head. They got the decapitated head of the daughter, put it on some idol thing with the crown. One of the people takes the crown off of the idol thing and puts it on brother's head. And then there's some narration, I think by the parking lot lady. You are King Paimon. We are your servants. We corrected your other body, which was the little girl. And then there's like another little miniature of them in the treehouse bowing down and having that moment. And that's the end of the goddamn movie. This was genuinely not only creepy, but frightening. There were moments like your jaw drops when you see the fucking girl's head fly off. It does not rely on jump scares to make you, to get your attention. It's just fucking creepy and scary. The music is fucking fantastic. Honestly, all the acting was great. The music was great. Everything was fucking very, very good. This is one of the best horror, psychological thriller horror types that I've seen in a very, very long time. It reminded me of a lot of other movies in certain ways, but it was done so well and so uniquely that it gets high praise from me. This might be my favorite scary movie. Thanks for watching, guys. I always enjoy making these things for you, and please leave a comment. I do enjoy hearing what you guys have to say. What'd you think about this movie? Are you gonna see it? Do you not want to see it yet? Did I spoil it too much? Do you have suggestions for other movies? What are your favorite horror movies? I just like hearing you guys' comments about these kinds of things. Peace out, everybody. I've seen a lot of movies. I knew this was gonna be a witch thing.